In this lesson, you're going to learn about table formatting. So the first thing you need to do is go to your exercise folder and select the cells February workbook. Then the first thing you need to do is to select all cells that you wish to format using the table formatting option. Go to the home tab, then go to the style section, then click on format as table. Once you click on format as table, you're going to be given different types of formats, and whatever style that you choose, Excel is simply going to apply it to that particular selected range. So for example, you can select this one. Then Excel is going to give us a dialog box which will ask us this question: format as a table. Then it will ask us, where is the data for your table? But because we had previously selected the active cells that we wish the table to be formatted from, Excel has already selected from this range. But if we hadn't selected like we had in the previous way, Excel will give us this option to click on this arrow, then select the whole range that you want the table format to be applied, then click on back, then make sure we select that my table has headers because it has cars, planes, which is a header, then click on OK. And that is how we create a table format using Microsoft Excel. So once you have clicked on the table format, once I click within one particular type of cell, Excel is going to come up with this type of tab which is going to be called Table Tools. Within the Table Tools, I have various options which are going to be enabled. But if I click outside the selected area of the formatted table, that option disappears. But if I click back on the table Tools applies, which means it means that it is a context-sensitive option. So I can enable the header rows, or I can disable them. I can enable the total rows, or I can disable them. I can enable the banded rows, or I can disable them. I can select the first column, which means display special formatting for the first column of the table, which once I enable that, it will give us a first formatting for the first column, which is north to total. And there's also option for display special formatting for the last column of the table. Once I enable that one, Excel is also going to give me the special formatting for the last column. If I disable that one, that special formatting disappears. And I can also use banded columns, which gives us a various design function, which I can also enable or disable. But the banded columns display banded columns in which even columns are formatted differently from odd columns. This banding can make tables easier to read. So I can enable or I can disable them from here. And if you can look on row 1, there have been applied some filter options. If I want to enable or disable these particular types of filters, I simply need to click on the filter button and all the filter options are going to disappear. I can refresh the data, I can export the data, I can insert a slicer, I can summarize with a pivot table, I can remove duplicates, I can convert to range. These all options come into play once I select this particular active table which had been formatted. So you must make sure that you select the whole of it for all of these options to become active. I can name the table, I can resize the table. And that is how you use the formatting table option in Microsoft Excel to customize and format a particular worksheet or data. See you in the next lesson.